Magdalene's blogs, Part 2, Renewal. New blog 01. We didn't in fact travel to Magdalene till the next day, as we spent most of the afternoon at the master's house as well. After the meal, Mother Mary took us around her courtyard garden, and then Yeshua came out again and invited us all to come and gather there. He wanted to speak to us together. It was a wonderful time for me. I could have sat and listened forever. I felt like he was talking just to me. Sometimes the way of truth seems like a gentle, peaceful path, like now, like being in the garden. And sometimes it seems filled with the hardest things for us to overcome. What we have to give, the efforts we have to make, seem huge at the difficult times. But once they pass, it is as though they were but a minor thing to bear. We can never do enough, give enough, to have earned the gifts that our Father God wishes to bestow upon us. Simply to accept them as our greatest task. And when I say Father God, you must understand I could as well say Mother God. These distinctions are a fiction of our human thought. Love does not recognize the boundaries of form. It reigns supreme, the same in every heart. And we must show the way to everyone who has the ears to hear. It was like a new day had dawned for me, and I travelled to Magdala the next day with a glow in me that was greater than the sun on my skin and the wind in my hair, a glow that was throughout my being, and Rachel was the same. I wanted to shout out to the world that the Messiah was here. Sing out the glory of the Most High God. Dance the dance of loving the Lord. I might have annoyed Rachel with the sudden transformation from her former morose companion, but she didn't show it. Instead, she joined in when I sang a song she knew, and told me how thankful she was that our journey had turned to so much good. And Magdala was not far away. We would only need part of the day to reach it. Rachel drove the mule cart quite fast. She wanted to get back to Yeshua soon. Though she understood why release from the spirits was so exciting for me, she also knew the real journey had only just begun. She wanted to learn whatever the Master would teach, having realized he was a healer through knowledge of the soul of things, and she was so happy for this chance to learn. This is only just the beginning for me too, I acknowledged. We need to experience the truth inside ourselves. Yes, and certainly we must be before we can think to help anyone else in this way, Rachel mused. It must take great dedication. She paused, and in it I felt the quietness of my breathing. Now that I have found the Master, I know I have waited for this all my life. My heart sighed in complete agreement. Should we get something to eat in Magdala before we go to your mother's house? Or is it really your brother's now? No, she will want to feed us, I'm sure. And then, yes, I suppose it is his, but I can't say I'm looking forward to seeing him again. I shouldn't say that, but I don't think I meant anything to him other than being a total nuisance. When we made our way up the road that led to my old home on the outskirts of the small town, something had changed. A lot had changed. I hardly recognized anything. In the first place, one of our former neighbours seemed to have gone, house and all. Then the area around the house seemed overgrown. I started to be worried. We went down the path to our door, and as I saw the house, I understood at least why the neighbour's house had gone. Our house had large extensions built into that side. Yet this sign of prosperity was incongruously offset by the already shabby state of the surrounds. We knocked at the door, and after a while we knocked again. Just as I was going to go around the side, someone came to open the door. Jacob, not my brother or my mother, but someone who had been my father's close friend and business partner. He looked at me for long seconds. "Uncle Jacob," I said, "don't you know me?" "Mary, is that you? Can it be you?" "Wait till I tell Ruth." He moved first back and then forward, apparently undecided whether to go first tell my mother or to come forward and greet me. Suddenly he was giving me an embrace like he used to, and then he turned to Rachel too. "Uncle Jacob, this is a friend of mine, Rachel from Tyre. Rachel, this is a dear family friend, Jacob Ben Gedden." "Welcome, my dear," said Jacob to her. "I must announce your return to your mother, Mary. Give me a couple of moments, please." We went in and could hear Uncle Jacob talking to someone in an inner room. Would my mother be happy to see me, I worried for the 100th time? Or would Benjamin be here, I wondered, but blocked the thought out quickly. She hurried, hobbling as best she could to the hall where we stood. Not quite the way she might have bustled a few years ago, but even now she couldn't wait any longer than necessary. Her daughter was home. She embraced me with tears in her eyes and words clogged with emotion. I too was unable to stop from breaking down and crying. She had grabbed my robe and was pulling me through into the inner room, and I just managed to beckon Rachel to follow. Mother turned to acknowledge her too. A scrawny hand grasped and squeezed Rachel's in a way of greeting and thanks. "What a day! What a wonderful day!" she was saying in her gruff voice. She had only a shadow of her former strength. She was quite bent and shrunken, but still her spirit shone through. "Welcome home, my naughty girl, welcome home. Come and tell me how you have been, away so long. Look, Jacob, what a fine woman she has become. A bit skinny, but we can fix that perhaps.